So today we're doing a in-depth restoration on this specific lighter. Not sure what. Oh, it's a Crown Pipe Master. That's what it says on the bottom here. So, first of all, I'm just gonna push out this whole casing around this because we need the internals out here, and it's actually pretty difficult, so I recommend you use a screwdriver. Go into the bottom screw where the flint goes, the flint screw pretty much. Wedge your screwdriver in that. So be very careful when you push, because this is what happens when you push a little bit too hard. I even dented the metal. It's pretty thin metal, but still I dented it, and my whole fingertip is numb from that. Kind of shaking a little bit. So I can't continue. I'm saving this for another day. Okay, so I'm coming back. That my finger does feel a lot better. It is still very numb, and this is the next day. Did not touch this after yeah. Just be careful, that's all I'm saying. Oh yeah, I was trying to figure out how I'm gonna get into this flint part. So let's pull off the flint. That's why I couldn't, because it bends. See, that makes sense. You can see that this is going like straight down, and then it makes a correcting bend to meet this wheel back here. So yeah, we're gonna have to pull this out. That's where it's gonna have to be, because that's the only surface I really have for this. Pressing it through. Now I need something a little bit thinner, because I think I bent the middle. I think I bent the metal a little bit too much there. There we go. Should have enough out. Yep, we do. So pretty much just punch that so that you have enough of the pin out to actually grab it. Hold this while you're pulling it out, because it's going to want to lift up. I'm going to kind of push everything out here. There we go. Pull this out if I can. There we go. Pull that out. And there we have it. Filled to the brim, which is junk. And with antique lighters, that's how it's going to be. And I'm honestly going to have to clean this up. I'll drill this out, and yeah. Now, I'm aware that most people don't have mini drill bits like this, either mostly because they get broken in the process, or yeah, you just don't have them because you don't use drill bits enough. So you don't need to use a drill bit to get all this metal and whatever gunk, flint that was left in this hole. You don't need a drill for this. You can definitely just use like the tools I've been using to poke it out, and it might be pretty hard to poke out, so you might have to use a little bit of brute force, but you could definitely do it without a drill. You don't need to get this thing put back together and see how it looks. I'm honestly pretty damn excited to see how this thing lights. Let's do this thing. Oh yeah. Also, if you need to, the flint wheel usually needs cleaned, especially on old kerosene lighters like this. Like if you have a lot of corrosion, like in this spot right here, then I would recommend taking a wire brush, just brushing that off. If you do not have a wire brush, I guess you could use like a hard bristle brush, but I would really recommend a wire brush because that works the best. So, first of all, we are going to want to put this into the correct spot before we do anything. So, make sure for gears like this, if they have a fixed gear like this on the wheel, then you want to look for the little piece of metal poking out right on that side and line the gear up with that so that the gear is on that side, because that piece of metal will need to hit that gear in order to activate the actual front wheel. You want to line this up with it. It's going to be difficult, and I'm honestly not sure. It's going to be some trial and error before I figure this out. Should have looked at it a little bit more before I took it just right at this position. I mean, I guess it's different for different types of lighters, but if you have the same lighter as this one, if you have the same lighter, it's the Queen Pipe Master. Can never remember this name. Line that hole up. Now we grab wherever they went. Now we grab our pin, put it in the lined up hole. This is going to be really difficult to keep this hole lined up right here. Then you want to hammer that in. But before you hammer anything in, you want to make sure that sounds like it. Okay. So you just want to make sure that the flint wheel is in place. If you can tell it's not, I would take this pin back out and make sure it is. So, I mean, I think everything's in place, and I will be able to tell once I have this pin fully in. It works. Yep, it works. Does need to be put up a little bit further, so I was wrong about the pin placement. I don't know if it's going to stay in place or what. Hopefully it does. I think it should be in place. Put that pin back in. Let's hammer that pin back in. Before we do that, make sure this pin's in the right place. There we go. Now it's all the way in place. You press it down all the way. In there. Now we do a last little hammer with this. And that should keep that pin directly in there. Heck yeah. Now let's throw some flint in. See if this thing sparks up. Okay. Oh yeah, she's a working. Now I'm gonna go ahead and replace that. Well, I might not have to replace that. I'm gonna go ahead and replace that wick in there anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the wick and put this back together the rest of the way. So of course you're going to have to slide this on. Make sure you slide it on the correct way. And to do that, I just do this. Make sure it's in the right spot. Now yeah, slide this back on. Whichever way it came on. It came on this way. That works great. Now, let's replace that wick and let's get to it. Okay, finally got that wick out a little bit more. That took way longer than it needed to, honestly. So let's fill this up the rest of the way. And I mean, let's see how it works. That's how you restore a lighter. Well, hopefully this video was useful and helpful in a way. And yeah. Thanks for watching. Oh yes, also before I forget, I will be taking apart more lighters, more butane lighters, and repairing them in depth, just like this video did. And I will be doing some in-depth videos on some butane lighters. I mean, these ones don't need restored specifically, and the ones I do have that need restored, I really can't do because I do not have the replacement parts for them. And honestly, I don't want to go out and pay for the replacement parts, so I am not going to do an in-depth video on how to restore an antique butane lighter, but I will do a little video on taking it apart, putting it back together again, showing what parts are what, or at least what parts I know are what, because some of the parts I don't know about. Also, if you liked this video or found it helpful, like I said, drop a like, subscribe. I mean, there'll be more videos like this every month.